broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another amazing AfterBuzz TV after show for your favorite show, Hemlock Grove. We're on Season 3, Episode 7, Todos Santos, Santa Maria.
Santa Maria.
Madre de Dios. I can't believe what happened this episode.
Yeah. Dio me.
Dio. Oh my gosh. Dio. Destiny.
No.
I am your host, Sean Overman. You guys can find me at Sean Austin O. That's SeanAustino on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm joined here by my lovely co-host.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And Mary Lou Mandel is out tonight, but we miss her, and we'll be happy to have her back next week, of course. So let's go ahead and get into Todos Santos. Oh my gosh, OMG, if you guys have not watched the episode yet, be sure to watch it because you're missing out. We're going to have tons of spoilers. We're talking about the episode. It's a spoiler in general.
Can I just start? I cannot believe this.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe this.
Destiny dead.
You killed Destiny?
And she went out like a punk. Really.
Oh,
gosh, it's
that
terrible.
was just horrible.
I love her. I feel like she deserved a better death than this.
Way better, more over the top, gruesome death that they have in Hemlock Grove.
She should have had like her head ripped off or her throat ripped out by like Olivia.
Something that's like on par with how awesome she is.
Yeah, like, or something crazy could have happened when she was like in one of her visions. She could have like maybe gotten killed by something in the vision. How crazy would have that been? Or like Spivak monsters could have snuck up on her.
Oh, I mean, I was kind of close with my predictions, thinking maybe she's put into a situation where she's begging for her life. No, far from that.
No,
she actually just dies in a completely surprising way.
Totally
that
surprising.
Came out of nowhere.
You know what? Let's.
That came out of nowhere.
Let's work. I want to get to that point, but let's work our way backwards. For everything involved with Destiny and Peter. Let's talk about this right now. So, Peter, it pretty much starts off with Destiny and Peter. You know, they're having a conversation, right? Peter. Well, actually, even before that, Milan meets with Peter. Am I right?
Yes.
And he says, "Put a muzzle on her."
And I hate all these references to them being treated as dogs. We had two different references with Bajram and Milan saying muzzle, or it was actually the friend, the other friend, not Bajram. But like the other friends.
Gray Streak.
Yeah, who's making them reference, put a leash on her, you know, and put a muzzle on her. And I was like, she's not dog, she's far from dog.
Yeah, I know. She's like one of the best characters out there, but it's just, you know what, she's going through a tough time right now. She's not the normal Destiny that we know because she lost her fiance.
Yeah, and then the other man in her life who like she trusts, and they were fighting the world together, you know, it's just not even telling her the truth straight to her face.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another reason why she's so concerned, and she's so just like, she's stressed out because no one's telling her what happened. And she knows that Peter's lying to her. Yeah. He's leaving things out, right?
That has to be so frustrating, especially because they are the only really family now. Andreas is gone. Peter's mother,
she's in Romania
is
now,
gone.
Right? Out of the country.
Yeah, Linda's gone, and it's just like they only have each other. And the fact that that's even being kind of broken apart. Not kind of is being broken apart. It's really just sad to watch how that's how it ended with them.
Yeah, but you know what? That's got to be like, there has to be a lot more tragedy in this show because the show is coming to an end. They are doing things to like just psychologically traumatize us, I feel, so that we feel this is the end of the show, right?
I'm broken.
Yeah.
That just broke my heart.
I know.
I'm so mad.
You're going to flip the table.
I am. Every fiber of my being is not like wanting to flip this darn table.
Oh,
You saw
man.
me earlier.
Yeah.
I almost flipped a stool.
Yeah,
so.
you and I have been talking about it all day to each other, just off and on about how this is such a big deal in the Hemlock Grove universe.
So mad.
I know. Even, you know what? I was even hoping that even if let's just say like this, well, the series is ending. With the series ending, maybe even like Destiny or somebody could get a spin-off, you know, like have their own show. That would be amazing if
Come back as a spirit. I'd be so for that.
I'm down for her, like maybe let's say she doesn't die, right? And, like someone just revives her in the Hemlock Grove universe, and then she is like this detective psychic woman. I think that would be cool.
I think that'd be amazing. Will that happen?
But we don't know if she's dead or not, other than hearing the neck crack.
Oh, I think she's dead. Because that was a very human type of killing.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That was just a human body snapping.
Yeah.
In all the wrong way.
Yeah, she's dead. She's probably pretty likely she's dead. Unless Price revives her in some way, some crazy way. But he has no incentive to revive her, right?
No, because they never interacted with each other.
They had maybe one interaction at the White Tower last season when it was. I think it was the very last episode when they were trying to get there to find Nadia.
But the paths never crossed either.
Okay.
They were in the same location, but they never crossed.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about.
I'm so frustrated.
I know.
Rest in peace, Destiny.
Let's add to your frustration and talk about Bajram and how much of an idiot this guy is.
How transparent is he? Could he not be more obvious?
He was so obvious. It's funny because all the guys were like, "Oh yeah, this is what we're gonna tell Destiny," and then when it comes down to it, he's the only one who got questioned by her, and he comes in like a solid idiot. He goes in the room with his wife and Destiny talking. He's like, "Oh, hey girls, this is weird. I'm here to get my bowling stuff, and I'm already stuttering and lying to you.
And I'm already sitting on the couch, cowering, hugging a pillow."
Yeah, he was totally all the body language.
Body language was there.
Said he was lying. Said he was covering something up with a pillow.
Holding something in.
Yeah, he was using the pillow as a shield against their interrogation. It was like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Could you make it look any worse?
Yeah, and I loved how even Destiny was trying to set him up for all the wrong answers just so she can prove and validate that he's lying.
She is
How many strippers?
She is so smart. I really like the way she did that. And I was just like, this guy doesn't have it down. Like, is he like doing like crystal meth or something at the gypsy hangout? What's going on with him? His brains fried.
I think it's also like he's also emotional too, and he just doesn't want to be involved in all this. Yeah. So when Peter confronted the guys to say, "Hey, we need our story straight," it felt like Bajram wasn't even really listening either. Nope. Against, and also adding to the fact he didn't know all the clear, hard facts with the story they went with.
You know, I'm glad that they put this on him, like the writers and the showrunners put this on that character, and that last episode they really developed it. Or was it even 2 episodes ago? They really developed him to be like that moron. You know, like because he went up to her and he didn't have to say anything, and then he said, "He died like a hero." It's like, are you serious, dude? Why would you say that?
That's already a red flag.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean he died like a hero? You could have just kept your mouth shut.
Nope.
Dude.
You're like, "I'm sorry for your loss. Get out."
Yeah. So Bajram totally gave up the goods, and then he said he had to take a trip to the toilet.
To the toilet, yes.
Because he's full of poop.
He's full of it.
He's full of that emoji, that brown emoji. All right, so we have Destiny still doing her investigation by herself. Mm-hmm. This time she doesn't want to kill Milan. She knows he has something to do with it. She knows Peter has something to do with it. There's a mystery person who she doesn't quite know who it is, and it's that 911 tape recording. So she goes over there, gives it a listen to again, because she was doing it last episode, right? This time she's onto it. She knows who it is. And you know what's funny is that we all knew who it was, but I liked how they did shroud Roman. It had like frosted glass on that telephone booth, so we didn't quite. It's possible it could have not been him, you know.
Yeah, but I think she's just too smart to put 2 and 2 together, figure it out.
Yeah, so she easily put 2 and 2 together. She went to his place to confront Roman.
Ooh, lethal mistake.
Yeah, and it started off, you know, easy enough, right? She could have left at any point, but she kept pushing because she's sick of all the lies, you know?
And I understand the girl just wants answers, and people aren't being straight up with her. Yeah. So she should have left a minute earlier. When Roman gave her a clear out, she should have just took it.
You know, it's so sad because if Peter had just told her in the beginning of the episode, or not at the beginning, but near maybe the midpoint, Peter was saying to Roman, hey, I'm going to tell her. I'm sick of doing this. You know, like, I'm sick of lying to her. She's my cousin. I love her. Mm-hmm. And then Roman just says, no, you can't. You're going to lose her. You can't do that. Why does he care? That's so weird, right? It's just...
Right. And, you know, and even, which makes this whole thing ironic because he says, no, you're going to lose her. And then in the end, it was him actually causing her to be gone.
Yeah.
And losing her. When Peter loses her, it's like, what did you do to your own relationship with Peter? You're going to lose him.
You know, I feel Roman has got this weird thing about, like, holding on to the women in his life, even though they're like, I don't know, and he just doesn't treat them
control.
Right. Yeah, he likes to control them. He doesn't treat them right. So, like, with Annie, he's got obviously a weird thing going on with her.
Too weird.
With Shelley, he loves her. He doesn't have a creepy, weird, incestuous thing going on with her, but he even, like, badmouths her, but he still wants to keep her close, right? So he's just, I don't know, maybe he wants Peter to do that same thing, like to mimic his behavior, like, don't tell her anything, just lie to her, keep her close, and just, I don't know, this is kind of funky.
It's just, it was very hypocritical of Roman to say that, when I don't think he was planning on killing Destiny either, but I think he might just got caught up in the moment, but there was a good 5 seconds where he thought about it, and he did it.
Was it 5 seconds? I think it was.
It was a slow, dramatic hand around the neck, and crack.
That's right, because, okay, she could, all right, I was thinking about the punch, like a 5 seconds between her punch and his punch,
no.
But, yeah, I think it was 5 seconds for that, but, yeah, when he had, like, a good minute to get to her, to think about what he was going to do, and, yeah, put his hands around her throat, crack it. And, you know, what's funny is, like, the end of the episode starts with hands around somebody's neck, and the beginning starts with somebody's hands around their neck. So we'll talk about.
Incredible bookend.
Yeah, let's talk
Rest
about.
Rest in peace, Destiny. I purposely wore black because I'm mourning her death.
Oh, that is so
that's
sweet.
So sad. You can't kill Destiny, and they did.
I know.
I don't know what to do with myself, and we still have 3 more episodes to talk about.
We're gonna have a beer outside later on.
We're gonna have several.
We're gonna cheers to
a glass of wine.
Cheers to Destiny. We should have brought the beer in here already.
Shoot.
Our producer Alexis, get us some beer, please. Just kidding.
All right, give me like 2 seconds. I'll just be right back. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna leave it on the wide. Okay, bye.
Right, yeah.
Okay, good.
But let's talk about Price, who survived having his throat almost collapse, hands around his neck.
I know.
Right? So,
Olivia.
Thank goodness. We already knew, you know, because we had Joel De La Fuente on last time, and he told us, you know, he alluded to it. So, and there's no way that they could kill Price like this 3 episodes away from the end. No way. Yeah. So, he's still alive. He survived. But it was so funny because the next morning, she thought it was kind of a dream, like maybe not, and she's like, Price. Olivia calls him, and the phone's ringing, and it just goes one ring without an answer, so we're like, wait, were we wrong? And then he like kind of like he purposely like knocks it off the hanger. He's like, hello, good morning, right? He's still recovering from having his being choked the night before.
His larynx almost like destroyed
by a strong oupir who's infected.
No thanks to you.
Yeah,
that was great.
But I liked how they did that. It was a good transition from last episode, because last episode, that's where they ended with her on top of him with her hands around his throat.
Right. And I liked how they showed this different perspective now we see just how crazy and how completely Olivia's vision is completely gone off the rails. Yeah. It's not, she's not thinking clearly.
The parasite has really infected her ocular
vision?
Ocular nerve. That's it. Yes, I think that is it.
But like the way she sees the world is just even the people in the Upir she's coming across. It's just, it's not as clear as it should be. It's completely taken over.
Yep. So we have later on, she asks, after she knows he survived. She wants to come over right away, which is so funny because he's like, no, don't come over. Number one, he's not ready yet with whatever stuff he needs to get, like
He's still
research.
in his pajamas.
He's still in his pajamas. And number two, he probably doesn't want her anywhere near him because she's just trying to kill him.
No more physical assaults.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. And he said, after your homicidal act last night?
Yeah.
That was so hilarious.
Because of your homicidal acts.
Yeah. And which other mother effer did you have hanging in your closet? What? She gave up the goods to Chongo, who is now her best friend, hanging around with her.
More crazy than Ochoa.
Yes, and I like that. I liked how there's that big jump from normal Ochoa, he's kind of like suave guy, he's very controlled,
Calm and collected.
He's a little bit of a dick, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But he is a private dick, right? Mm-hmm. So he's a private detective.
I'll put those two words together.
So but he's embodying Chongo now in her mind. That is what the parasite has taken form for her, like little devil on the shoulder, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
or just the devil in our mind. Just maybe Chongo is just an accentuation of how crazy Olivia's mentality already was.
Yeah.
Just an exaggeration more so.
Yeah. There's some with the cinematography, I like how they do some scenes where he's just straight up there next to her, and then whenever there's a mirror around, though, I really like the way they play that, because they have him in the mirror, but then when we see behind her, he's not there, which is so cool. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's also just like the dual personality going schizophrenia type of mentality that she now has.
Yeah. I also liked how I'm sure you liked that he was shirtless. You enjoyed that.
Yes, Sean, because I completely objectify men in that way.
No, I mean because with like
he
Roman
wasn't too bad to look at.
Yeah, he's
I'll
not
say
bad.
it.
He's not bad to look at. We don't get that much of this kind of guy on Hemlock Grove. We have we have the youngins. We got Peter and Roman.
You're right. We need more of those kind of men on this show.
Yeah, exactly.
And alas, Chongo or Ochoa really is dead. So
yes, he is really dead, which is sad. But I think it's nice to have him in this like fun, really he's like a very flirty guy in the Chongo form, which is super cool. I like his hair being all puffed out. It makes him like
he's wild.
It makes him wild and crazy. He's like a crazy monkey man, right?
He's a wild animalistic kind of personality.
Yeah.
Which kind of reflects the Upir craziness of Parasite that's happening to all these Upirs.
That's some good symbolism right there. I also liked how his outfit didn't stay the same, and it straight up like changed with every scene almost. Am I right?
Yes, you are right.
So he started off very like native, like native, like what, native Puerto Rican, kind of like jungle, I don't know, like South American. That's what kind of felt like.
Culture.
Yeah, like Latino, like native South American or like native Mexican almost feeling, and then it
somewhat tribal.
Yeah, somewhat tribal, and it had a contrast too because he pulls the phone out of his body wrap, and it's like, oh, this was gifted to me by the late Ochoa, right? Which was so funny, and I liked how they worked that in where he slid it into the drawer, and she found it in there.
She found it
because she was really the one who did it. It's really, really colorful the way they're doing all this.
Smart. It's very smart, and I like having a different personality with Olivia, because we've always seen her one like crazy cold-hearted straight way, really. And I mean, she's had her soft moments, but to have just another crazy side that's completely contrasted to who she is as a character, it's actually fun to watch, especially in the last season.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. The writers really took a lot of liberty here, which is great. I really enjoy that. Next they go to visit Price, which actually, you know what, we kind of skipped over Price a little bit. Let's backtrack to Price. I thought we were going into Olivia, but let's talk about the Greek guy ending up in Price's tower again.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
Yeah, like his brain didn't get melted.
Yeah,
right?
like he didn't get mushed.
Or he didn't get turned into what was that liquid stuff?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Oh,
I forgot what they called. Nutrient.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's still Price, and he ends up like in Price's bathroom, changed into his robe, like he's like, who's this imposter? Security! This is Dr. Price here, and it's so funny. And then and then Price, the real Price, starts talking about, there must be some kind of like ghost mental capacity thing going on. Neural ghosting.
And cognitive dysphoria.
Yes.
But this experiment with the Greek guy, again, shows that this experiment is still going on. It's maybe lasted longer than the first time we saw Price try this experiment test on this project. So it shows that Price is progressing with everything that he needs to, that will maybe come to fruition during the finale.
I think the implication was that the Greek delivery dude left. Like, he literally left after Price used him that one time in episode 1 or 2. But what if he didn't leave? What if he actually stuck around in the White Tower but was in one of the sub-levels and they were experimenting on him still?
Maybe.
Oh, man, that would be crazy. And that's why he ended up in the White Tower again so easily.
Right. It's very, very possible, because there was that quick shot when Olivia's on the elevator going down, I believe, and she was at like level 91. I was like, how tall is the tower?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
How many levels are there?
I thought it was like 30, 40, not 100 levels. Craziness.
So who knows what's hidden at that tower?
It's a lot of landscape to search.
Projects.
Yeah. So
many bodies, possibly.
So Price does get a visit from Olivia, and he tells her, "Hey, you need to find an Upir," because and I liked how they put the Greek guy in there, because it shows that you have to have someone to do the mind transfer. You have to have someone who's maybe equivalent mental capacity or equivalent body type, and that makes it not so easy for Olivia to just jump into anybody, pretty much.
I mean, it makes sense, but the physical attributions has to be the same as, girl's been around for centuries, so we need another body to just handle everything that she's already been through. So it does make sense. I like how they made that comparison.
Yeah. So she ends up leaving, going in search, and Chongo's there. He was hilarious, looking at the
popping in everywhere.
Yeah, making fun of Price wearing like an outfit too, the same lab coat,
his coat.
And it was so amazing. Yeah, it's so colorful. Like, his body wrap red color went to like the tie now and the shirt, plaid shirt, and he was just like, ugh. Like,
disgusted look.
Disgusted by the specimens, looking right at the nipple too, like, oh gosh. It was so hilarious. He follows her down the elevator. She's talking to him, aka talking to herself, and and then she sees all the people in the elevator coming in with their Bluetooths on. And she's like, amazing. "Oh, I need to get one of those." And so she's like pretending.
Cocksucker red.
Yeah, cocksucker red. And then she pretends that she's got it.
I gotta say, Olivia/Chongo had some of the best lines in this episode.
Oh yeah,
like, the one-liners were on point.
Seriously, this was the most fun I've ever seen Famke Johnson have on the show. I feel
seriously,
it's amazing. So she goes to visit Mrs. Benson Charles.
Benson Charles.
And that was the wife of her ex-lover. And he is dead, apparently.
He just died.
He just died because he was killed by an infected Upir on the way to the airport.
And my maybe prediction, or it's not prediction, but like the Upir or the guy who we saw get attacked in the street from maybe episode 1 and 2.
Oh.
I think that might have been Benson.
Really?
And that might have been Olivia's point. Well, no, it wouldn't have been. But I think, take back Olivia.
Yeah.
But I think the guy that we saw be killed the first time from this distorted vision.
Yes.
I think that might have been Benson.
In episode 1.
It's
possible. I don't think too many days have progressed in between now or then and now. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just like a week.
This feels like a real time.
Yeah, a week's like enough time to get to have all this stuff happen. I feel it definitely feels like each episode's like a day. It doesn't feel like it goes beyond that.
So maybe a week has passed.
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah, I could see that. So, but yeah, if he was killed, that was him, that would be interesting. I thought it was a bar, but maybe then again, it could have just been because we had Roman at a bar that episode. So that's probably why I was thinking like, oh, is this at a bar again? I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about Spivak and what he did with Trevor. Holy monkey.
Oh my goodness.
This was like, I did not think that. I knew
mind blown.
Yeah, Trevor's been such a small character in this whole series.
I hardly even remember Trevor.
I remember that we had Roman getting mad at him because Roman didn't have any nutrient or any like blood last season, and he threw Trevor's iPad down, and then Trevor made a report against Roman through HR.
Yeah, Trevor was not happy.
Yeah, so that's so funny. And then they bring him back for this, and I'm glad they brought him back and it wasn't just some random dude, because we're familiar with his face. We're not suspicious right away, but I knew there was something wrong with him because
very robotic.
He was very robotic, walking around.
Head tilt.
Yeah, the head tilt, like, what is that? Right? It's kind of like
that was obvious.
It was kind of obvious, but it actually at the same time we didn't know what was going on. We didn't think he was going to do what he did, which was shoot up the place and kill all of the board members.
People.
Oh my gosh! So, but his conversation with Blinsky was hilarious. Am I right?
Yes, it was. Oh, Blinsky.
Yeah.
Witnessing everything and not really being able to do anything.
No, he's always on the back burner for like the scenes. It's like before the big scene happens. Like Blinsky's always there.
He's just there.
And then afterwards, actually Blinsky was there for a big scene today, which was after the whole shoot 'em up thing. It was an MP5 MP5K PDW, because I play video games, and that's the weapon.
I was very nerdy boy.
Yes, super nerdy. Counter-Strike right here.
Congratulations
back
to
in the
you.
day. Yes, PC gaming. But that it was perfect choice because it could easily fit in that suitcase. So he ended up doing that stuff, and then we do the memory scoop. So they dissevered his head. How crazy is this?
Gone.
They severed his head.
Decap.
And they were doing the memory scoop, which is so nuts. It was a really cool technology thing. I like how they Price and the Godfrey Industries have all these little things that are like set up there, just for like just to do. It's almost like a Deus Ex Machina in a way.
It is
to like solve a problem really quick, but it's actually I guess it's not.
But it moves the story forward.
Yeah,
too.
it's more like help them get a clue.
Right, and I liked how, because we see Price, all of his already ongoing experiments still add up to what he's trying to figure out as Spivak. So it was actually, I don't want to say convenient, but very helpful that he had the technology, and now it was just to put into play. But like, hey, we need to get his short-term memory right now. Let's figure out some answers.
Yep, and we got it was demonstrated to us this episode that Price really is on top of his stuff now. He is seriously like saying, oh, you need to have the oxygenated blood going through into the,
he's clean.
The Venus, something, whatever, like all the biology jargon. And even Blinsky is stumped. He's like, wait, what? I'm like overloaded here with what you just said.
Pump more blood.
Damn it, Blinsky, do I have to do everything myself here?
Yeah. That's pretty good, actually.
It's really good. And then we have him saying, look, we need to enucleate the eye.
Oh, I so knew what that, when he's like, we need to enucleate. I was like, oh, no.
What? How do you know that?
I watched too many episodes of Criminal Minds.
Oh.
It's actually really bad.
Oh, okay.
And so the fact that he said enucleation, I was like, oh, no, he's taking the eyes out.
So that
this
means
is going to be very visually gruesome.
Is that particular to the eyes, or is that just like any taking out something out of an orifice?
No, just enucleation is particularly for the eyes.
Well, he does that, and this is so funny because I did not think that. I knew that he was controlling him, but I didn't know that Spivak was controlling Trevor like a remote-controlled car controlling him.
Right, and it just shows just how far along Spivak is compared to Price. Spivak has the body, the neurotransmitter, and cognitive experiments already lined up. It works for him. Price is still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Spivak's already there. He had a body go into a building and do all these actions. I mean, Spivak's way more advanced than Price is right now.
I'm wondering if you took out that creature and Trevor was okay, if he would still be fine later on. Like if he would be able to live without that thing in his brain.
I think it might have just eaten the brain.
Oh gosh.
Or wrapped itself around the brain to the point where even if it did release itself, the brain wouldn't be able to function on its own properly.
Yeah, and he did input a speaker into his mouth and a webcam in his eye.
And the webcam in the eye. I'm watching you, literally.
The optic nerve just coming out like that is so long.
The goo.
And then Price squeezing it afterwards. Oh, man. Perfect.
Man. Eye juice.
Perfect sound effect. And even just squeeze it. You know how like there's some shows on like networks like HBO, they'll do gory stuff, but they won't focus on it for so long. Like he squeezed that thing and the juices were coming out for like like dripping for like a good 5 to 10 seconds. He was like squeezing it, shaking his hand.
He's so angry right now.
So good. Oh man. So now let's finish talking about Olivia. Oh my gosh. So she's really developed a comfort with the disease. And
would you say comfort or just an acceptance?
Acceptance. Let's go that route. I could say either one. But she's just like patting it with her makeup now. It's like already progressed up to her arm.
Yeah, it's second nature for her to just cover it up.
Yeah. And Chongo's like, is that ringworm? You got ringworm there?
You got ringworms.
He's kind of like a beetle.
Nasty.
He's kind of like Beetlejuice a little bit. Oh, what are you gonna do over there? You got some ringworm on your arm, but no, not really. He's he's a Puerto Rican version of Beetlejuice, pretty much.
He could be. He very well could be.
Could be.
Say his name 3 times, he might just show up.
Such a fun character. I really want to see more of him next episode.
I kind of wish we had more of Chongo and less of Ochoa.
I know. Maybe 2 more episodes of him.
Maybe.
If it had happened in episode 5, that would have been cooler. We would have been talking about a lot more stuff. And we want Alex Hernandez. We want you in here.
Darn it, Alex! Come on, man.
Come on, Alex. Get over to AfterBuzz TV Studios. We'll email you, call you up. We'll find a way.
Find a way. Possibly.
So Benson Charles, we talked about. We didn't talk about Aitor.
Well, first, with Olivia, she goes to that
that's
peer meeting.
Yes.
After killing the wife.
Mm-hmm. She goes to that Upir meeting. We have Chongo following her around the party, sharply dressed. Red, white, and black. Very nice.
See, and Chongo's, as we know, it's her inner thought. So whatever she's doing, he's also doing similarly.
Yeah, and he follows her. They're scoping out the place, praying, looking for someone.
Trying to find a host.
Trying to find a host for her mind. And they see that one blonde, and Chongo has some fun with her.
A little too much fun.
And we were talking about, like, how many takes, right?
I wonder.
How many takes did she have to go through to the point where they got it perfect? Like, squeeze, right?
Just a little squeeze.
And where she was just like, totally ignoring, like nothing's happening.
In a conversation.
Right? And I feel like we've seen that actress somewhere else, right?
Probably.
Right?
It makes me also just question Olivia's mindset. I was like, has she always thought about this way about other men, other females?
Oh, yes. That's a good point.
Because I feel like Upirs can go either way.
Yeah, I think they could. We haven't seen that.
Sexuality is there, but sexual gender preference isn't.
And you know what? They live for so long. Like, why wouldn't they try being with the same sex?
Why not?
Right? So, anyway, hey, who knows? Maybe she got down with Mrs. Benson Charles before she ripped her heart out.
Maybe. Seems like she didn't know, but... I love how all these Upirs are just popping out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Like they've always been there, but we didn't know.
That's why. See, that's a really good point, Marisa. That's why we should have more seasons of Hemlock Grove.
I know.
Because I want to explore the Upir world.
Community.
The community, yeah.
That's always apparently been there in Hemlock Grove. But it also, it kind of makes sense if you think about it. Season 1, Olivia, she had a whole different personality. She was very judgmental towards everything and everybody in Hemlock Grove. And it would make sense that she purposely stayed away from that type of community because just for judgmental sake. And then by extension, she didn't have Roman be around the same type of community. So Roman, when he found out about other Upirs, such as Annie and whatnot, he didn't know there were actual Upirs in the area. So it would make sense because that Olivia lived a certain way, staying away from people. Roman also stayed away from the Upirs.
Yeah, which is a damn shame.
It is a shame.
It's a shame.
We need more time with the Upirs.
I know. But one of the Upirs that she looked like she had her eye on was Mr. Norville, or was it Dr. Norville Knox?
Dr. Norville Knox.
And that guy is a billionaire, apparently. Mm-hmm. He's probably like the Bill Gates or the Steve Jobs of the Upir industries. Mm-hmm. Of the Upir
revolutionized world. Hemoglobin.
Yes.
So synthetic blood.
However, I think this guy is really good at presenting stuff, doing keynote for Upirs, but I don't think he's a really brilliant guy because we have Dr. Price, who's not Upir, finding out exactly what this thing is.
Yeah, and that's what I said, because we watched the episode together. That's what I also said. He's just saying all the information we as an audience who've been watching all along already know.
Yeah, and we get to know, actually, there's one piece that we got to hear that was new, is that this is a worldwide epidemic. It's not just isolated to Pennsylvania, Hemlock Grove, right? So it's like Australia and Malaysia and all kinds of different countries, Europe, Africa, it's everywhere. I was like, whoa, Upirs are everywhere too.
But if you also think about it, those lands, I mean, this is the world, but those lands are surrounded by big bodies of water.
Oh.
And as we know, that
Pennsylvania is not too far inland either.
Yeah, so I think maybe it's like water is a big issue with whatever this parasite is maybe thriving from. Thriving in.
Yeah. Well, maybe Spivak and his creatures need water, right?
Maybe it's just salt water.
Salt water, because they're sulfur-based, estuaries. Yeah.
Water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amphibious. That's what Dr. Price said.
Amphibious.
Amphibious. They're amphibious, not reptilian. But they're sulfur-based, which is so weird. Oh, and Price said they can be killed. They're still mortal creatures.
They're still mortal.
Just like Upir. Maybe they can live for a long time, but they're still mortal. Like, you can still kill them.
True. So they have a weakness.
Yes.
What is the weakness? What is the chemical compound that is the opposite reaction?
Or can cause sulfur to, like, maybe have, like, a crazy kinetic reaction where they explode.
Yeah. Combustible property.
Yeah. We need to find that out.
Get some chemistry in this.
Yeah. Maybe they'll answer it next episode. You know what?
Or we'll see it in the finale.
Yeah. I'm going to watch as soon as I get out of here tonight. I'm going to watch on the way home.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous. Don't try that at home, kids.
No, don't do that.
Don't do what I do.
Be safe.
Okay, we talked about the group Upirs. Let's talk about Shelley and Aitor. Let's mix it. Let's do Aitor first because he's connected to Olivia.
Aitor.
She saw his file on Ochoa's phone. She goes right to Aitor, and he's doing nothing but good. He is like not a bad guy at all, except for what he did in his past.
Yeah, he has a rap sheet.
He's been atoning for it for 20 years.
Which, like, that I can get with, and I can understand him. He has been trying to make up for all this. What he did in the past, I still kind of want to know. We know there was a death, but what happened?
Yeah, we know it sounded like he may have bashed somebody's head in or strangled somebody, because Olivia mentioned
a straight up murder.
Yes, a murder. And did you hear the
scream?
Did they scream? Did you hear the bones crack? And the whole time Chang goes behind him like, admit you did it, which is so funny. But Aitor just seemed like he was just hit out of left field, with all this, like, why are you doing this, lady? Like, I'm just a nice guy trying to atone, and, like, I like your daughter, and you're going to ruin my life because of that? Come on, man. It's really sad. Yeah,
I mean, but it kind of makes sense of why he's doing so much good now.
Yes, it does make sense. So now the question is he going to leave? And that was, like, really the only scene. It was just him. And
or is Shelley gonna leave Aitor now that if she finds out?
If she finds out, but I don't know if Olivia will go, because Olivia is so busy trying to find a body, right? I don't think she's gonna be too preoccupied with her daughter anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of bodies, we see Olivia toss Ochoa's body. How sad was that?
That was so sad. I didn't know why she was saying it's Tuesday. I was like, why does that matter? And then she gets out to the dumpster. I was like, no, what are you doing, Olivia? You're gonna get found out. You're doing it. Who does that? Who throws away? Yeah, midday in the back of the dumpster behind your own apartment where the body was, and
making a lot of noise, swinging that body left and right.
Everybody must have been at work.
Yeah, probably.
And Olivia's too good to work. Right?
It was just so funny, literally, her carrying a body, her actually cleaning up a mess in a very messy sense
Do you think she cleaned up the blood? She just took him off the hook. I don't feel like she had time. She was just...
Maybe not.
He's been hanging there for a couple of days now.
It makes me think, what happened to Michael? Because the last time we saw him, he was bleeding out in her tub, who was also hanging there.
Oh, yeah.
So...
She cleans up pretty good.
Yeah, she's used to cleaning up after herself.
Well, she has been doing it for over a century.
I mean, season 1... No, actually it was season 2, when she killed the mother. Marie.
Oh, Marie.
But she killed Marie.
Aw,
But she killed Marie, and she bleached down the whole place.
that's right.
So she's actually really good at cleaning up dead bodies.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Wow, you're reaching back to season 2.
I was.
That's a good one.
Like,
You totally.
I was digging back there.
Now all of her actions are justified. Totally. Now I know
Yep.
she's a clean person. Okay. So we have Shelley getting a delivery, right? And it's for all the people in Rooster Poot from her loving brother. It was so nice because like they just had a spat last episode. Right, so it made me feel a little bit better about him. Of course, we feel differently now.
No, knowing that he's such an asshole.
He is a total ass.
It is like past the point of redemption.
But
Kill Destiny? No.
No, oh yeah, I know. After that, I'm like, he's like,
It's like, nope.
he's totally on my.
You are
shit
not
list.
on my Christmas list
No.
this year.
No, so we have Aitor though looks at the paper and he's like, looks like we got an angel, which is so funny because there's a lot of
angel references to.
So obviously he's more like the devil than he is an angel, but
It's so contradictory because, you know, we have the angel references towards him, and then this episode is called Todos Santos, which translates to All Saints, where nothing saintly happened.
no, nothing at all. I don't think anybody did anything good except for that, and maybe Shelley and Annie. That was
Annie,
nice.
I think that was the only good thing.
Yeah, but. And you know, we get to see Annie visit her, and they have a conversation. She talks about how, like, oh, that's so wonderful that you have books, you know, because a home without books is like a mind without thoughts.
It's very true.
It's also like saying like a body without a soul. It's like saying the same thing.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I'd be sad without books in my life.
And then we have her just drop the bomb on Shelley. I'm your sister, by the way.
I'm your sister. By the way, I loved the cinematography, just the shot and how they framed it, how it was Annie by the bookshelf, and then there's like this distorted bookshelf in between blocking, and there's a barrier between Shelley and the background. I thought, like, beautifully cinematography. That was amazing.
Yeah. And it's just the way that Shelley responded to her also is just like, oh my gosh, like you it must have been so hard for my mother. I like how she's still like in that mindset, like she's still really self-conscious about her own looks, which is crazy, even though she's getting away from that now. She's like, oh, but you're so beautiful, like
Must have been hard for her to give you up.
to abandon you. It's like, oh no, there's a lot of stuff that happened back then. Shelley
Sure.
Shelley's still a teenager.
She is, and that's what also makes it hard because she's trying to find her own life and her own self really at Rooster Poot. Poot. That was hysterical. Poot.
She almost went into the definition.
Yeah, that was hysterical. But she's trying to find herself here, and she's making a house because people are delivering things to her. People are going to her for, you know, questions and answers and whatnot,
And for help.
and yeah, for help. It's like she's making a place at Rooster Poot, and then to like still be lied by her brother, who now she found out that Roman knew about Annie but didn't tell her, and then her mother, who knew that Annie was alive but still didn't tell Shelley.
but-
So like people are still refusing to tell her stuff.
See, I don't think there's so much refusing to tell her stuff. I feel like Shelley is just...
They neglected to tell her.
Okay, they neglected to. Yes, because her mother did go out of her way to see Aitor, but didn't go out of her way to see Shelley.
To see Shelley.
Right. But Roman's been kind of busy with all the stuff, like helping his friend move a dead body, covering up for him, board meeting that got shot up. You know, there's a lot...
Yeah.
Having sex with his older
Sister.
sister. There's a lot
Several
of stuff.
times.
Several times. More than once, that's for sure.
Yeah.
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 And then he even threw that joke in there too, right? He even said something like, "Oh, are you back
For seconds?
Back
I was
for
like,
seconds.
no, that's more like 3 times.
Yeah, and you know what?
But who's counting?
I thought that was weird how she just let herself into his house again. Like, does she have a key or like the passcode?
must. She
Yeah,
must.
and she was drinking wine. If you're gonna say bye to somebody, are you just gonna sit there and drink
Don't just
wine?
drink wine.
You don't just drink wine to get all sauced up to, you know, say, okay, I'm gonna take off now, bye. She could have left a note. So maybe she did want seconds.
Well, she did, in fairness. Annie did have the lines like, I wanted to us part ways civilly.
Yes.
I was like, okay, that's good on her trying to make a human, in a way, a human family connection. That she didn't have a family. And so she kind of now does have connections, especially to Hemlock Grove. So it's like, yeah, part ways in the proper way.
Yeah, but now I don't think she's going to be leaving Hemlock Grove.
No.
Not with...
anytime soon.
Yeah, not with this woman that just got killed in front of you.
After witnessing Destiny's death.
No! Destiny's death is so tragic.
I can't. I'm so upset.
Gosh.
I'm like visibly upset.
I know. It's just so awful, man.
They killed her.
Lame.
They killed Destiny.
Yeah, do you have anything else to add other than you want to just go into predictions?
Other than my notes saying very expletive words right now about Destiny dying.
Mother F.
Yes, some choice words. Poor girl.
Yes. All right, well, let's go ahead and move into our predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right. Well, I think. Do you mind if I start off? Actually?
Go for it.
I already started. Okay. I feel like Price is gonna have a favor asked of him. Roman's gonna ask him to dispose of Destiny's body. Maybe turn it into nutrient.
No, you can't drink Destiny.
Oh
no,
that would be awful.
I would cry. I would legitimately straight up cry.
I feel like we're gonna have. This whole action, obviously Roman being such a cold-hearted bastard, is going to drive Annie closer to Olivia, even though she's just as bad, right? She's worse. And I feel like Olivia is going to try to get Knox's body, but it's not going to be successful. And because there's no way she could finish out like this. So even if she gets him, she's not going to be implanted into his body, because there's no way we're going to have Famke Johnson like in somebody else's body for the rest of the season.
No. Or if they do that, they need to find someone as equally as gorgeous as she is, which is not a lot. All right. Interesting. I like that.
Yes, thank you.
For my predictions, I think Annie has the particular line where she says to Shelley, when they're parting ways, you especially, definitely blessed. It makes me think that Annie will die, Roman will die, and Shelley is still the one left standing who will be one of the only people who will survive on this show. I thought Destiny was going to survive, but apparently not.
Yeah, so did I. But you know what? Destiny and Shelley were like the two people on the show who were so innocent that never did even one smidgen of anything wrong, really. And now they're gone. So
who else is just up for the...
Well, Shelley's gone.
Lamb
Shelley's
for the
not gone.
slaughter.
Yeah, so Shelley, she is the most pure. She's glowworm, right? So she's probably going to survive. But I feel like everybody else is going to die, including Price.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath near the end. Who all dies, it really could be anyone.
And you know what? There was one thing that I forgot to mention about Spivak. He said, in these few days you've got left.
Yes, he did.
Wow. So it's like Armageddon.
Or just these last few days. I don't think it was you. It's just these last few days of the world.
Yeah, yes, that's what I meant, actually. Yeah. So it's like Armageddon's going to be coming. He got called Lormengunder, right?
Yeah.
And that is the Ouroboros, the serpent that keeps encircling the world to
either fuck.
Yes, either prevent or cause Armageddon. We don't really know.
Also,
yes,
I still don't. It was really, really sad to see Roman kill Destiny right next to Annie.
Yeah.
And I think Annie might freak out. Maybe Roman kills Annie, but I still think Olivia might kill Annie.
Yeah, I feel like there's more that Annie has to do before she leaves this show, right?
Yeah.
I feel like she has to accomplish something else. Like she has to, from what we had Camila say to us, there's something that she's gonna do that's gonna really make us dislike her. We really like her a lot.
Dislike Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Annie. I think she's too good of a person to go down in an evil way, because we see even when Destiny is dying or died that she was praying over her. So I think Annie's just too good of a pure type of character to go down an evil way. And I think
she's going to be manipulated by Olivia. There's got to be something that happens, especially with Olivia's mind and Chongo infesting it. She's going to tell her something that's going to make Annie do something that's like unsavory to us. I know it's going to.
Right. And then also because Roman killed Destiny, I think Peter is going to get, quote, ape shit on Roman. Like that bromance is now gone.
And I don't. Do you think that Roman will be one to lie about it? It'd be kind of hypocritical if he.
No, because he has a witness, and he's gonna just straight up tell Peter.
That's true. That's true. I don't think she would keep it from
unless Roman kills Annie before kill the witness.
No.
And then straight up lie to Peter. How sad would that be?
No, even though he has that antagonism towards her, he likes her too much.
Yeah, and I think there was a quick shot at the conference when he was staring down Trevor before Trevor shot himself in the head. It looked like he was trying to
He wanted to
extance him.
Oh,
to make him shoot himself.
That's what I thought about that. But
it's like he was peering at him.
Yeah, is that why he shot himself? Or was it because Spivak chose to kill Trevor to make it so there was no evidence?
I don't know, because Roman had a stare down contest with him, and it was long enough to make me think that he used the X-Dance on Trevor to shoot himself in the head.
That's what I thought of the first time I saw it. The second time I saw it, I didn't think about X-Dance. I was thinking he wants to kill himself. Like, I kind of thought that that Roman had that thought shoot through his mind.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
And then Aitor with this death, I think that's going to come to fruition. And it seems like, because Aitor seems like a really good character, I don't think he was ever really malicious. So this death in the past, it might have been to save someone else's life, maybe like a manslaughter type of situation. Like he had to kill someone to save someone else.
Right.
It might have been that type of
situation.
Like
a sister, family member, girlfriend.
Yeah, someone that was close to him, and he ended up killing someone.
Right. Well, that's probably it, and he's gonna die because he's another good person.
Many people are gonna die in this show.
All the good people die first, and except for Shelley, she's gonna live, and then all the bad people die.
But you can't kill Destiny. I can't believe you killed Destiny.
I know. There, Marissa. No. We'll have a drink after this show.
Yes, we will have several.
Yeah, well, I think that's about it for us here at AfterBuzz TV's Hemlock Grove After Show. So, be sure to tune in next week. Follow us on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all social media outlets, SoundCloud, and you guys can follow me at Sean Austin O, SeanAustino on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to check out my book, City of Angels and Discontent, on the iBook store, soon coming to the Amazon Kindle bookstore.
There you go, and you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV, Mourning Destiny's Loss.
Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.